Guys, hello. All right, so welcome back. So this is going to be a bonus general message. I always start these ones out with something real that happened, some anecdote pertaining to my dog, and we see that sets the tone for the story. My dog has a very he's very routine oriented, and so if the passenger door is open, he knows that's the way he always gets in. Even if he's riding in the back, he still has to get in the passenger door. And I had said to him, we had arrived somewhere, and I said, okay, go find your ball. And then I had to go back over to the car and put something in it. So I opened the passenger door, and he's like, wait a minute, passenger door opens, Aries gets in. So he goes, finds his ball, comes back, brings the ball into the car and gets in. We're not leaving. He just is sure that he can hear what the tasks are, ball, and then the door opens, and that's his other thing that he knows he must do then is get in the passenger door. And I was just cracking up laughing because um he's so literal. He knows the routines, he knows the rules, and it's maybe that's going to set the tone for this storytelling, because maybe a character is incredibly like astute. They notice, and they put two and two together, and they go, okay, this plus this, they told me to do this, but then the other thing I just noticed is normally I do this as well, so I'm going to. It's like a person who thinks, I follow those rules. And I think with the temperance card here, I feel like this person's doing great. Whomever it is who has I'm not going to say like a routine or the insistence that they must follow a routine per se, but it definitely looks like somebody likes their life to be orderly. We could be dealing with a character who, they find peace when things make sense, when there is a set of, like a rule, a booklet that they can follow that says, do this, then you do that. And maybe we have a character who likes it like that. We have a Four of Wands, we have the Judgment card, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the King of Wands. This could be somebody who thinks that they understand now what formula would work to have a very successful relationship, a very successful reunion, and then a very happy life together. This could be same-sex couple, reverse gender roles, doesn't matter. But we do have a Queen of Pentacles, so possibly an earth energy, and then we have a fiery king here. So, I mean, we don't have to be dealing with these zodiacs, but we do have the essence of a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and then a Leo, Sag, Aries. But let's not forget the Scorpio energy coming in off of our major arcana, and the Sagittarian energy coming off of our temperance card. So this, to me, this looks like somebody who is certain that they know how this can work. They may be sure that I understand you. I understand what your needs are. I understand what your wants are. I understand how to communicate to you. I got it. Let me ask this. I mean, I think this is an awesome story. I don't want to poke holes in it. I love it. But how did they figure this out? How did they come to this conclusion where it's like, I know how to make this work? Because I do find that's an interesting concept, that somebody has figured it out. They know how to find balance and harmony. And we have a Knight of Wands, we have a Queen of Swords, and we have the Devil. Huh. Okay, well, this kind of looks a little bit plain and simple. They realize she has boundaries. Don't lie to me. Don't run in and out of my life. Don't be inconsistent. Make sure that you're someone I can trust. Make sure that you're somebody who shows up in my life. I will show up truthfully for you. You show up truthfully for me. You don't have to be perfect, but you do got to be true. That's what this looks like. Even on the Devil card, we have the Aces, or well, it's not the Ace of Swords, but I'm going to call it that. We have a Sword of Truth, even on the Devil card, Capricorn energy. There's a strong sense of, even here, this card that it would normally be about running around, dashing in and out of somebody's life. You notice this knight is on the spotlight, and they're actually sitting down completely calm, saying, I'm not going anywhere. A Queen of Swords is over here, and they've got all these runes in the sky, and it's like, don't make me have to decipher and interpret what you mean. Don't make me have to become a psychic detective to try to figure out who you are. Just be honest and true with me. And above all, don't be toxic. You don't have to be perfect, but you can't hide from me the ups and downs of life. And I feel like they're saying, I get it. She wants truth. Even if I'm not perfect, she still wants the truth. She wants reassurance. I'm not somebody running around on her, and I'm not. And she wants, those are her boundaries. Those are her conditions. If I'm going to deal with her or him, remember, I don't read for genders, but this person has realized that's it. That's the secret sauce to having success with this particular person. For her to want to give to me or him, what they want is truth. They want to know what's really going on, and they want to know that they can count on me. Well, that sounds amazing, and that sounds very doable. I would agree. I would totally agree. Tell me, why is it that this storyline is even presenting itself right now? We have a Four of Wands. Oh, because the time for union is here. We have the World card. This is about to be given birth to. This is somebody who is very much aware that they want to offer these things to. They want to behave this way. They want to fit in this connection. They want a beautiful Four of Wands relationship. You mean that's what it takes to be respected by my partner? For my partner to feel like they can rely on me and trust me? That's it. That's the summary. I mean, we have the Four of Wands twice now, right? Which can be a marriage card. This one is literally like we could have a whole life together, a beautiful life together, one where we can count on each other. This is the new thing that they want to give birth to. We have the High Priestess and we have the Eight of Cups. I feel like a person is walking away from an old life, an old behavior, an old way of being, because now is the time. It's kind of like it's now or never. And of course, tip of the hat to Elvis right now. Love Elvis. To me, this just looks like somebody who has reached a point where it's so easy, it's so clear. This isn't rocket science. Maybe once upon a time it was hard for them to wrap their head around, like, God, what is it that makes it so we can never get on the same page? And now it's like intuitively, that's like a bare minimum for somebody to want. Like, I expect you to be honest with me. I mean, I expect that of every person I talk to, right? That's not about my partner. That's about every human being that I talk to. I expect you to be honest. And if you prove to be a liar, then I'm like, oh, okay, that's the boat you want to row in. All right. But I would assume that people are telling me the truth at first, because why would I assume that they're full of crap unless there's a reason for me to think that? But life is easier when you're not a liar and you're going to be found out. So I assume most people don't want to do that. So I start out with, I'm going to assume that you're truthful. This is a storyline where, I mean, there's a million reasons why somebody doesn't maybe explain every detail of every aspect of themselves. Like there's levels of truth depending on what the interaction is, right? Exaggerations are a little different. Like, oh man, I slept all day yesterday. Well, no, I took a 4-hour nap, but that's most of the day. So I say I slept all day. Like that's not a malicious lie, right? This character, I'm not saying that they were told malicious lies, but I do think that they were not, in the past, they must not have been able to comprehend that the basic aspect of what was tearing apart a relationship was, it was never about like, I don't love you or I don't want to give to you. It was like, you got to communicate to me. I got to know who you are. I got to know that there's something I can count on with you. So then I can be the person you can count on also. And I feel like this is new to this person, this idea of transparency and like support and standing beside somebody and having their back and not having a double life. I mean, it sounds like, well, duh. But on the other hand, I don't know this person ever realized that that's like the fundamental like bedrock of what would be required to have this incredible life. I'm wondering, because of that Eight of Cups card, because they have walked away from something in their life, something that perhaps made them less than transparent. I'm not going to say made them a liar. You notice I'm choosing my words carefully. We have the Chariot. We have the Two of Swords. It's definitely something they were trying to block. Now, this could have been they needed to move forward. Both of these cards say that our character has now moved away from some chess game, and it could have been a strategic game or a manipulation tactic, but it was something that they didn't see it that way. They may not have known that they had a tendency. Maybe they were steeped in a world where it was always like, okay, I'm around people that I don't fully trust, so I never quite am 100% trusting of them. And if they had been steeped in that, maybe raised in that culture, that, I mean, sometimes families are really, look, everybody operates the way they operate, right? But if they had been raised to either be, I'll say strategic, but I want to leave the word manipulative as an alternative word here, because it appears for her to demand truth so much and transparency so much, and for them to have not realized that they used to not maybe see their strategy as maybe a manipulation. For them to not be able to see it means they were probably like really baked in it, steeped in it, you know. Let me put it this way. If I'll use this as an example because it blew my mind. If you have always had your mom's spaghetti and then you go over to somebody's house and they put nutmeg in their spaghetti or cinnamon in their spaghetti, true story, I've tasted it before, you're going to be mortified. But the person who was raised on that only knows spaghetti sauce, it has nutmeg and cinnamon in it. And they think it's great. You have never had this, so you're tasting it and go, what the hell? The other person says, what do you mean? This is amazing. Sometimes it's as, you know, our taste buds get acclimated to what we know, just like the culture that we've been raised in or the culture we've worked in for so many years, or the group of people we've been submersed in. That's a culture we know. Our taste buds acclimated to the flavor of manipulative strategy, deception. Everybody always has a second hidden agenda. If that is just the environment that they knew, they didn't realize that that flavor is something that is maybe unique to them and the culture that they're a part of. And when I say culture, I'm saying the culture of the group that they have been a part of. So they didn't see it as, wow, I'm actually super manipulative. I thought I was just operating the way everybody that I'm around operates, the way I was raised, the way I was trained. I thought this is how we all do it. Like, we say one thing, but we all know that we're kind of out for number one, and we all know that we're always kind of strategizing to see what we can get, what the next move is. We all play these little games. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. And definitely, if they want to be with somebody like her or him, they can't do it either. I think this is a major breakthrough, but it was something that they couldn't comprehend. Why are we not being successful? Why would a relationship not work with this person? God, what do they want from me? And now it clicked, and it's like, oh my God, they want me to not act like I was. I have to walk away from that behavior. But first I got to recognize that I even had that behavior, and that it wasn't I wasn't an intelligent business person that was strategizing. I was maybe a manipulative kind of person that was untrustworthy, but I didn't see it that way until she or he pointed it out to me and said, I'm not dealing with you when I can't trust who you are, when you're not being 100% with me. I feel like because they were so oblivious to this until now that it clicks, it seems so easy. And it seems like, oh my God, you mean I can behave differently? The Fool card. You mean I don't have to behave this way? Because I'm thinking maybe they didn't enjoy this either, but they didn't know another way. And they hadn't had it like click that, wait a minute, you mean she wants a relationship, or he wants a relationship where we literally have each other's back. I know everything about you, you know everything about me, and we stand side by side and we take everything that comes together as like a united front. And I don't have some other side life, and you don't either. You don't have anything that you're hiding from me. You don't have some other, whatever, a business strategy happening on the side. And I'm not even talking about somebody who's like cheating, because that's not really what this is about. It's more about somebody who couldn't be upfront, maybe at the little details in life, they might have lied over dumb things continuously because they were steeped in don't ever let anybody know how many hours you actually worked at work, because then they'll say, well, if I'm going to spy on you and try to figure out how many hours you were actually doing this or that, because then I can track you and figure out where you went after that. If somehow they dealt with like family members, business people, whatever the culture was that they were in, I just feel like everybody always had some secondary plan. And that does not fly in this relationship if they want to be with whomever this person is. And it clicks now. They know. And they can change things. They don't have to be that way anymore. They can finally take off the mask. And what a relief, right? To finally take off the mask and be the real person that they are. To not feel like, I don't know, the kinds of things that might make somebody play a big role like that. Maybe they were steeped in or raised in a family where it was like, we need to look good for society. So we lie through our teeth about, ups and downs. We're trained in the family to always look like we're this powerful family and, financially stable, when in fact we could have failing businesses, but we don't show that to the community because we've got this standing in the community or something. It could be any of those things. All I'm saying is it was a way that they behaved in life, which was freaking exhausting, because this person looks a little bit weathered and they're taking down the mask finally, and they finally are able to change the way they've been doing things in life, which is completely and utterly necessary for them to now be able to have a genuine union where I almost feel like they can finally feel like, oh my God, you mean I could be loved for who I actually am? I don't have to live a second, persona where I seem impervious and everything's perfect and I got tons of money and I don't sweat and I always smell good. And, like, yeah, they can be the real person that they actually are. That is what brings them to the Four of Wands. I don't think we've had the Four of Wands 3 times. This is somebody who flat out would not marry them unless they were going to marry the real person, not I'm going to use the word, the politician version of them. And I feel like she was just had it up to here. Like, don't give me your politician version. I don't want somebody that lies. You can't be somebody that hides things. You can't have a polished version and then the real version. You have to be more of a consistent whole person in order to be with me. You can't refrain from telling me the entire situation if I'm your partner. If I'm your partner, you tell me everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and we figure stuff out together. They are ready for this relationship. I would argue they've probably never had this. On that topic, let me just see. 5 of Cups in the reverse. I think this person has been lonely most of their freaking life. I don't think they wanted to behave this way. I think maybe they did come from a very affluent background. I know there's a very specific story. It's just, it is what it is. They may have come from a very affluent life. They really didn't quite fit in, but they tried their best to learn all the lessons that they learned, even if those lessons were kind of toxic. I mean, I don't think it's a great lesson to have pounded into your head that always pretend to be someone you're not. I don't really see how that would make an easy life. Or make sincere connections. I think that would ruin the ability to do that. And I feel like this person knows that they have missed out on that authentic life, but in fact, they haven't, because they met somebody who's real, and all she expects from them is, you be real with me. They know that she loves them too. They feel at home with her. They feel like this is somebody that I'm not alone. She actually wants to know the real me. This is really refreshing. This is definitely one of those stories. So it feels like it should have been one of the love stories over on Tarot Dog on my other channel. But I don't know. I really liked the energy of this one. I liked the realization that this is real. All right, you guys, thank you for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.